Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? First off, I want to give all thanks to God and all praise and glory to Him. And I want to thank you guys for being here with us today at the Daily Chatter.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you. Yeah, I want to say thanks to you guys for being here. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's the host. I'm the co-host.
No, we're equal hosts here.
Equal?
We share the stage equally.
Equal.
Yeah, it's a give and take relationship. It's a nice flow.
100%.
Conducive with each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel you.
You feel me?
I do. I feel you. I
You
get
vibing with me? You digging it?
I get where you're coming from. You're my main man.
Yep. Alright.
Couldn't be with anybody else. It'd be strange.
It'd be weird? Oh, snap. Weirder than this?
Weirder than you.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. It'd be weird to be with somebody different because it'd be weirder than me, right?
I wouldn't want to, babe.
Well, that's great because...
Did you have something that you wanted to
Did I have something
tell everybody?
What do I want to tell everybody?
Or
is it my birthday?
say, is it your birthday? No, it was just in January.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be an old man.
You're old, man.
Oh, man. Did I have anything?
Yeah,
Something specific?
I thought specific. That's a word I can't say. I thought that you wanted to sing a song.
Sing a song?
Mr. Bud, if you did not know, likes to make music. Actually, quite a few people, if they watch me on the channel, probably already know that. But if not, they know now because I just told them.
Now you're putting me on the spot.
Okay, well you don't have to.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Oh, if you're feeling the pressure, we don't want to pressure him,
I'm under pressure. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Or is it ice, baby?
No.
Which one is it? Which one do you prefer?
Hey.
I know it's vanilla, right?
Vanilla, yeah, it's vanilla.
Yeah.
No.
We know who she prefers.
Yeah, we all know
We know who she prefers.
It's vanilla ice. I like how he's so ready to. What was it?
His sample?
His sample.
Yeah. They got it back though, didn't they?
They get a percentage every time it plays. Queen
what did he
does.
say? Doesn't he pay Suge and he pays Queen and he pays somebody else and he owes money every time it's played?
Yeah, Vanilla Ice. That's something like
You don't make nothing.
he owes money every time it plays between Queen and somebody else.
Suge. I don't know if Suge's getting anything. He's in jail, but
Don't let Vanilla fool you, man. I saw his house and all his rides. Dude he might have been like Vanilla Ice. You guys remember him, right? Ice, baby. He might have been like
I just remember Vanilla.
Yeah, popular
I
like he
remember from
was.
Ninja
He might have
Turtles.
like fell off, but man, that dude's still loaded. Check him out on the internet.
Yeah.
Check out his house and his rides and whatnot. Dude's making money somewhere.
Rob Van Winkle, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I remember him. I remember he put out that Ice Baby, and he put out that tape with that on it, and then a little while later he put out like a hardcore metal album.
I only remember that one, Vanilla Ice.
No, he had a metal album that was on tape, I remember. And then I just never...
Stop, collaborate, and listen. I don't know the song. I don't even know
I
the
just back
name.
with a brand new mission.
You
or
probably
something
know the
like
whole
that.
thing, don't you? You probably dress like him, and
I don't know nothing about him, really. I know he was in some Adam Sandler movies, and he was in Ninja Turtles, the first Ninja Turtles.
oh gosh. You know, if you didn't know, Adam Sandler is my favorite comedian. Yes.
Whoa, water boy.
Well, I wouldn't have said that one is my favorite flick, but it's not a bad flick. I think Adam Sandler is an extremely funny dude, and he made it, starting from being super unfunny stand-up, but then he became really funny. And
hold on, before you go on, from a truthful standpoint, what do you think about his movie Going Overboard?
I think that first movie he went overboard, like there was a bad flick. But if you guys haven't seen it, so you agree
with the Rotten Tomatoes score, and you agree with the amount of stars that received?
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, Adam Sandler, like, it was one of his first ones. I don't recommend that one, but he is very funny. He made it. He takes care of his friends. Look at him. He's an average dude. You'll see him walk around New York City looking like a bum. Jennifer Aniston had to call him and tell him when he come to the Oscars to dress up and not wear a sweatshirt. And he did it. He wore a sweatshirt anyways, and she got real mad.
Jennifer Aniston got mad?
Yeah, cause
She got
I don't
mad?
know about the Oscars. It was some award show. They were going there for that flick they just did. And she told him not to wear a sweatshirt and shorts. And he showed up with a sweatshirt and shorts. She got real mad at him for it. See, that's funny, bro. But anyways,
I didn't know Jennifer Aniston had so much control over. I didn't know she could tell Adam Sandler what to wear.
I think she was just saying don't show up like that because it's an award show and I'm gonna be dressed up and we're gonna be going on stage together for this flick we did.
What she should have did was just been a real friend and just wore sweatpants herself. Don't you think? Some pajama bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Anyways, about Adam Sandler, although I do think that he is an extremely funny man. He's by far one of my favorite comedians. I like Jerry Seinfeld and whatnot too, but I like Adam Sandler. I think he does his best roles when he is serious.
So you like Uncut Gems?
His serious flicks.
That movie Click. Do you like the
I
movie
like
Click?
Rain on Me. I like Uncut Gems was a really good flick.
What about The Cobbler?
The Cobbler?
Wasn't that when he was with the shoe guy? Was that what it was called, The Cobbler?
I don't know.
Oh.
What was that new one where he's the basketball scout? Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I just watched that not too long ago. It was a good one too, but
you can't remember the name?
Uncut Gems was and Rain on Me, I think he didn't win an award for those. I was very sad about that. You know why he didn't? Because he's Adam Sandler.
What about that role when he plays the Jamaican store clerk?
No.
And he's that guy in that.
The only reason he can't win an award for the serious role, even though he does a remarkable job, especially in Rain on Me.
Tell me, Siskel. Tell me why.
It's because he's Adam Sandler, and he only is known
That's his
as
limitation.
doing comedy, his own comedy flicks with his friends. He ain't known for being serious, even though he can do it. And so could Jim Carrey. Even though Jim Carrey doesn't really act anymore. He could do serious. Whatever. Who's your favorite actor?
Are you serious? Who's my favorite actor?
Who's mine? Who, do you know it?
Who's your favorite actor?
He'll get it. He'll get it. You'll get
You're gonna
it.
put me on the spot. How am I gonna get this?
I thought you knew it.
I knew your favorite couple. Denzel?
Yes, it's Denzel Washington.
Wow.
Denzel. He deserved way more Oscars than what he got. I love Denzel. I do.
I don't even
By
know.
far my favorite.
I don't have a favorite actor. Once I realized they were just acting, It's kind of like living a lie. I can't pick a favorite.
There's Doug. Doug's like, I'm your favorite, man. I got him.
Well, Doug is my favorite. Hey, buddy, you're not acting, are you? Hey, we're buddies. And I'm not pretending. Right.
He's not. So we didn't. There's George now. Now George is down here saying, "Dad, I thought that I was your favorite."
George is my favorite. I spoil him, not Crystal. George heard everything that was said, and today he was acting like that's 100% true. He's like, Dad, don't be a liar.
Just so we know, George is not his favorite. That was just jokes.
You couldn't just let it go, could you?
I have.
You couldn't give me that.
I'm the one that's sickening that has a favorite. It's me.
You're the one that's sickening.
It's George.
That word is funny. Sickening.
Why? What's funny about it?
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's whack, huh? Putrid. Does it make you want to vomit?
Keep going. Clean it up with comment. No.
You're such a nerd.
I am.
At least you admit it.
I don't mind being a nerd. I don't mind being a geek. I enjoy it. This is where my heart is.
Being a nerd? I don't mean to change the subject, but I just saw that TV, that fireplace refresh itself. I had some people in the comments ask me where I got that picture in the background, that back there, that fireplace. That's a TV.
I think it's funny that it can refresh itself, like it can throw another log on the fire.
No, for real though,
Technology.
that is a Samsung frame TV. So it's a really, really skinny TV. And then you can buy frames. It don't come with the frame. I buy that separately. But I bought a frame and put around it. You could buy Samsung frames. So it looks like a picture on your wall. And then I bought rights to that fireplace scenery there. And what was it, like 30 seconds long?
Mm-hmm.
And he dubbed it for an hour. So after an hour,
I dubbed it.
whatever, made made the fireplace play whatever it was, 30 seconds of it, 3 minutes. I don't even know how long it was that I bought.
I took out my dual cassette deck and dubbed it
he
right
made it an hour long video, and then whenever the hour's up, the screen will go black, and then it'll flicker to blue and start over. So that's what you see back
I'm
there.
not a loop master.
Yeah.
You could see the refresh.
Also, I mean, you can watch TV and flicks on it too because it's the TV. But you can it also displays like art, like Van Gogh's and Picasso's, and it puts a mat around it. The frame, the TV itself does, and it looks like a legit, real Monet sitting up there on your wall. But I can't put that stuff in my video, or I get a copyright strike from Samsung.
How come you got this awesome TV? What do I got? I got like this TCL. What does it do? It shows TV.
I got a TCL right there.
My TV doesn't do anything cool
And over there.
other than show TV. How come yours does all these cool things? It looks like paintings and like
Well,
it's like your background.
I
and,
like to
it
make
serves a different purpose.
I like to make quotes to display it on the background, and then I've been trying to find a fish tank
Hey,
picture.
Can you put this quote? Oh, a fish tank? Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Can you put this quote on there? I don't have time to waste, but I have time to take my time today. Do you like that? I don't have time to waste, but I have time to take my time today. Because we don't waste our time when we take our time.
I would beg to differ.
My gosh. Tell me why. I gotta know now.
Well, I can use crochet as an example. When I take my time doing it, knowing that I can do it faster, my time is being wasted going slower.
But when you take your time and you have patience to do it and you do it right the first time, then you haven't wasted your time.
My time's being wasted when I can do it right the first time, but 3 times faster than the time I was doing it before.
Well, I can't say anything about the time you've allotted to accomplish your goal, but I'm saying that taking your time and being patient usually gives a good outcome.
Tell me
It's not
about
a
it.
waste of time.
I spent 10 years on YouTube being patient.
Or we could take our time just to spend it with other people or do something kind for somebody, and then we're not wasting our time if we take our time to do that.
I would agree.
If we take our time to do something selfish or to do something from our prideful place, then we're wasting our time and we're not redeeming our time or making recompense. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree.
Right.
Yes.
Right on. But you wouldn't put that up there on your TV?
I mean,
I feel like that's a good one.
I feel like if you make it, I'll put
What
it
about
up
this?
there.
I have a belt made of watches. It gives me time to waste.
And what about my wrist is full of watches? It gives me more time to take.
It gives you time like Justin Timberlake.
It gives me more time.
Can we go like this? And I can take your time.
I have more time on my hands when I
You
wear.
have time on your hands?
When I wear watches, I do.
I see.
See, that's why I wear them. More time on my hands. Makes me think there's more time in the day. And just so you know, I need you to reset these. Since I lost, well, that way, you need to take out a bunch of links out on my watches. When's that going to get done? I'm sitting here.
I've been doing that stuff all the time. Back in the day, I used to do that all the time. I was the watch guy.
I'm sitting
But
here
I
naked
retired.
on YouTube. My wrists are naked on YouTube with no watches because they all. I tried to wear one a couple times and they flew off during the video. I had to stop it and redo
They
it.
flew off.
I was showing
You know,
yarn
you're,
or
like,
something.
disappearing.
I was showing yarn or something, and 2 times they flew off, and I had to cut it out of the video.
It's dangerous. I'm glad I wasn't sitting there. I'm glad you weren't holding scissors or anything at the time either.
I can't even wear my bracelets anymore. They're as tight as...
You don't need that stuff.
Well, I don't need it, but I like to wear it.
Yeah, but if you got time on your hands, then you're bound by the constraints of time, by the laws of time. You're burdened by it and indebted to it. I like to be free of that.
I know, but I live my life indebted to time. Time is never on my side.
Well, we put all our value in time because we see it as the longevity of our existence. But if we were free from that constraint, we're at a different scale, because the only thing that time is bound by is scale, by the size of something. Time works in different ways at different scales. On the quantum scale, it works differently than at the scale that we're at now. And at a larger scale, time is viewed and perceived differently. So time is bound by the constraints and the laws of scale.
Did you know, for man is the only one time ends for?
Well, time exists because of the perception of man.
Well, I know, but I mean, animals and insects and stuff, they don't think about time ending. They don't even think about time like that.
Well, they don't really think about it.
It's only men who think about their time ending.
Yeah, we're bound by that because we feel like that we have to accomplish something before the time of our end comes. Insects and things like that, they're not bound by it in that way of they're consciously aware of it, but they are bound by it in that they're caught up in its perpetual motion and constant moving forward and expansion into the world. Time propels us forward constantly. There's really no present moment because time is always moving forward. We can't sit still in this moment in time. Time always moves forward.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we consider that, we're always bound by it. And we move forward and expand and age right along with it.
But we have to be bound by time. That's how our lives are lived.
But we should find that stillness and rest where time doesn't carry us along to the end, where we can stay in peace. Whenever we find that stillness, that's within ourselves. Outside of ourselves, in this world of matter, it always is expansive and in a state of constant expansion and decay. Within ourselves is a state of peace, kind of like within the seed, where it can exist for so much longer. But as soon as it expands into the world, it's in a state of expansion and decay. It follows the path of time, and it follows the expansion of matter and expression. It's always in decay when it enters into the world.
Yeah. It'd be great if we didn't have to follow time.
I know it
But
would be.
unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
Do you know why it does sometimes work like that?
It never works like that.
Do you remember the video of the old man that his grandson... This is a wonderful video.
Yes, I remember that video.
His
I know what you're
grandson,
talking about.
He didn't know how old he was, and it was such a great video because I want myself to be like that. I feel like he wasn't bound by time.
He had dementia. That's why he didn't know how old he was.
That would be great to me, to not be bound by that, and I could be 100 years old and think I'm still 80. And be happy about it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm 99, 100 years old.
I mean, it was a sweet video and all and everything that he was like, man.
That video part.
He goes, sweet. I'm old, man.
But the dementia would be scary, I know.
But he had dementia. That's why he was like that. But I mean,
do you know what that reminds me of? Whenever you hit your head and got a concussion.
I don't remember much of that.
It was weird. I couldn't convince her that she was hurt. She had a hand on her head and a crack in her head, and her hand was just covered in blood. And she looked right at it and said that this was not her blood. And I couldn't convince her of what happened.
Whose blood was it?
You said, I even took a picture of it, and you said that I got that picture from Google. And you told me, we walked outside, and it took me forever to get her to go to the ER because I couldn't convince her anything had even happened to her. She went up and washed her hair. She had a crack and blood coming out of her head, but she was insistent on washing her hair, and she washed her hair like 6 times. But then a little bit later, she would say, there's nothing wrong with me, I feel fine. But then a little bit later, she'd say something that was like scary, like, how long have we had that fence? Our privacy fence around our house. She's like, how long have we had that fence? And I'm like, we gotta go for a ride to Van Dyke. Let's go to the hospital. And there's only one other time in my life I was helping this elderly couple with their internet, And the husband, they were probably in their 70s, and the husband, we were just talking, me, the wife, and the husband, and everything was normal. Well, the husband went outside to the garage or something and left me with the wife. I'm sitting there talking to her, and she's talking to me about Crystal, new things, and all of a sudden she just looks at me with this fear in her eyes, and it sent like this fear into my heart because I could tell how afraid she was by the look in her eyes, and she asked me, "Who are you?"
Got Alzheimer's.
She had no idea who I was, and this man didn't tell me that she had dementia or Alzheimer's disease, and
Her husband.
it put a fear into my heart because I felt how afraid she was, and I knew in that moment what was going on, and I knew that there's no way I could convince her or explain to her who I was because right then she was in a state of complete panic.
Yeah, that was sad.
It was scary, and it scared me.
So, whenever I fell down, I knew who you were, right? Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so I was outside watering the flowers, and I get this call, and it's you, and you say, "Hey, babe, where you at?" Which is normal. This is what is always said.
So I don't really remember much of any of this.
And then she says, "I need you to come in." And I go, "Okay." And she sounded real tired. So I finished watering the flowers, and I came in the house. She's sitting on the floor on her butt with her knees up and her hands on her head like this. And she took her hand off her head, and her hand was covered in blood. And I looked on the floor, and there was blood, little splats on the floor. She said she stood up to open the door to let Doug out of the room because they always bang on the door. And they probably saw, the other dog saw me outside, and they barked. So Doug and George wanted to get out of the room. She stood up to open the door and stood up too fast from being asleep. I think she fell just straight backwards and hit her head on the bed rail and the floor at the same time because she had a perfect line in her head where the corner of the bed rail was at. It lined up perfectly, and then you had a knot on the back of your head.
How long did I lay there for, I wonder?
Well, I was outside for probably about 5 or 10 more minutes finishing the watering.
No, I mean, I wonder how long because I don't remember that.
For calling me?
Before I called? I don't even remember calling you, but I wonder how long I lay there for.
She kept saying, "I just need to wake up," because she takes like a over-the-counter sleep aid before she goes to bed. And she was holding her head, and I was like, "I don't think that it's because you're sleeping pills." She goes, "I just took one a little while ago, and it had been like the night before when she went to sleep." And she's like, "I just need to wake up. I just woke up. Let me drink this V8." So she drinks a V8, and she's talking coherently, but then a little bit later, she's like acting like she doesn't remember why her head hurts. She said, "My head hurts because of the way I slept on my pillow." And I was like, "Your head hurts because it's cracked open, and it's bleeding." And I'm like, "You're scaring me." It took everything I had to convince you that you needed to go to the doctor. And then, go ahead.
But when I went to the ER, they said it was cool.
No, they did not say it was cool.
No,
No,
yeah.
No, they did not.
I remember bits and pieces of the ER.
You were so confused at the ER.
I did give them my name, my maiden name, and they said that it didn't match that I gave them the wrong name. Didn't match my bracelet.
Yeah. The nurse guy, he knew us, and he said, "Who brought you here?" And she goes, "I don't know if it was my son or my husband." Well, my son doesn't have a driver's license, and he's never driven. And it was me, obviously, but she didn't know if it was her son or her husband out in the waiting room. It was so weird. A concussion is really scary. It's like the person won't accept that something happened to them. And then whenever they start to realize that something's wrong, they don't remember what happened, so it makes them panic. She got 7 stitches or staples in her head where she had the gash in her head. And
8 staples.
8 staples. Well, the concussive state lasted for like 2 or 3 days. That same night when we got home, she was sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden I saw that same fear that I saw in that woman's eyes who had Alzheimer's. Crystal started touching her head and started freaking out because she felt those staples in her head and she didn't remember how she got. She just thought something was in her head, so it was really scaring her, and I could see it in her eyes. And I had to hurry up and calm you down because you were trying to pull the staples out of your head because you didn't remember having.
And I would not even have believed that happened because I don't remember it had not my daughter recorded that.
Yeah, That was only something that you could show a video, and it's still almost unbelievable because I could tell she really did not remember what was happening to her.
Yeah, if Olivia wouldn't have recorded that, I would still to this day say that never happened because I don't have any recollection of trying to pull staples out of my head.
That was scary. And you know what? The only thing that would get her to go to the ER is I brought up Bob Saget.
Yes.
And how he fell and then he had a brain bleeding or a contusion.
I think about
or something.
him.
And I think that she had talked about that before, and I knew that was something that was, something you've thought about. So I thought maybe that would be something that make you.
I do. I think about that. I thought about how he fell and probably thought nothing was wrong with him and went to sleep and never woke up. Yeah, you brought that up. I remember you saying something about that, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a brain bleed.
You looked at your hand, and your hand was covered in blood, and you go, heads bleed a lot. And you were just like, so like, okay with it. And I'm like, well, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, And then I'm looking at you like, and you start just saying these weird things.
Off the wall stuff.
She took the conversation that we had about the fence, and she switched it around. And she said that she said the part about how long we've had the fence, and I was the one that asked, how long have we had that fence? Like, I was confused about how long we had the fence. But it was the other way around. She just reversed the conversation. And you did it at the ER, too, to the nurse. You had reversed the conversation that you had with him. And
what?
You were the one saying you didn't have a concussion. He was telling you, and you reversed it.
No, he told me I didn't have one.
No, he told you did, because you didn't even know your actual name. You were using your maiden name. You didn't know if your husband or your son brought
But
it.
he said I didn't have one.
He did. He did. They gave you they gave you the CAT scan because they thought you.
I know they gave me like forms that said how to treat a concussion, but that was just like, they have to do that. But
I guess they had to give you staples too, just because.
No, I mean, I'm not denying that I had a tiny cut on my head or whatever, but
it was a gash.
It was barely bleeding. And
your whole hand was covered in blood, and it looked like a crime scene on the floor. It was bleeding. It was scary.
All right.
But you're better now. The scariest part was whenever she was confused like that, I just, in my heart, it kind of put a fear of, I just hope that you snap out of that and I don't lose you like that,
You know what the worst part was? You forcing me to lay in my bed and not do anything. Do you know how hard that is for someone like me?
I didn't force you. I just recommended it. That
no, I mean you did it out of good intention.
Especially when you're confused, because first off, I had to take your medicines and stuff, so you didn't take more than you should, forgetting that you
took all my medication
and gave it to her at the right times, so she wouldn't forget and accidentally take too much, because she was having these moments where she was confused.
And then when he had to leave, he'd make my oldest son come down and watch me. Like, I do remember.
She ordered a bunch of McDonald's. It was insane one time. I came home with all this McDonald's. She's like, I didn't order this stuff. And she did.
I do remember you going somewhere for a minute, and you told Isaac to come down and watch me. And I was sitting right here looking at my phone. And Isaac was sitting over there on the chair. And I go, Isaac, where's my medicine? He goes, what are you talking about, Mom? I go, I need to take my medicine. He goes, I don't think so. We better talk to Dad about that. I go, I already talked to Dad about it. I called him. He said that I need to take my medicine to tell you. He goes, I don't think so, Mom. We better wait for Dad to get.
And she goes, Isaac says I'm acting fine. And I ask Isaac, and I go, how's Mom acting? And he goes, kind of disturbed. or kind of confused or whatever. And I told her, and she goes, no, Isaac said I was fine. I go, Isaac, come here. Tell your mom how she's acting. It was weird,
It is okay though.
I've never seen a concussion really. I guess I've seen people hit their heads, and I've even hit my head, but I don't. Maybe I was just confused when it happened too, but I don't remember being in a state like that and people around me going, "Hey."
I don't remember being like that either.
Confused, yeah. It doesn't seem like it happened, does it?
No.
I was not expecting that when she said, "Hey, I need you to come in," that I was going to come in and see her sitting on the floor with her head cut open. And I was like, what happened to you? What happened? And I looked at the floor and I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? And she's like, I fell, hit my head.
It was all good. I mean, it was not as bad as he's saying.
And then right after that, she forgets and was like, my head just hurts because I slept on my pillow wrong.
Hey, in my defense, I did need a new pillow. I actually just got one last week.
Staples in a new pillow.
Yeah. My pillow was making my neck hurt, and I should just get one.
Yeah. Well, have you been using it?
Just last night, I opened it up. Finally, it was just sitting in the box.
Is it nice?
It's the same one I had before, the coupe.
What?
Hey, that's a good pillow.
Well,
if you guys
when it's
don't
all
know.
fluffed up and nice and not used up, is it good?
The coupe, yeah.
I think what it is, you threw away the stuffing, didn't you? You could have refilled it, couldn't you?
Yeah. I got a thing for pillows. I go through so many pillows because I have to have like a certain pillow. And the coupe was, I've been through them all. Any of them that you could think of. I had it. And the coupe was the best one that I've ever found. Better than the purple, all of them.
Do you get a free pillow every time you say this? Get me a free pillow.
No, but you can have my old coupe. I got a bag of floof from my new coupe.
Is it a Coupe de Ville in '88? No.
All right, we're gonna go because we've been talking too long, and we weren't even funny tonight.
You weren't. That was hilarious.
You wish you were.
I wish I was. Hey, do you want to end with a song? I can end with a song.
End it. Right. Sing it.
Why are we burning, not building the bridges? And why are we turning our backs on each other, not acting like brothers, attacking each other? Stop acting like we ain't no children and we ain't got mothers and fathers we loving. And we all got times in our lives when we suffering, and we all got demons we're up against. Doing to others as you would have done unto you. Should be our politics, all of it. Could be our logic is off a bit. We cannot stop our lips, our tongue is venomous, our heart is envious. Yeah, it's a surety. People are enemies of our insecurities. Who want to bury me? Say to you verily, truth and sincerity bring you to clarity. Pearls of wisdom spoken like Jeremy. You ain't strong in your pride, it's all just a lie. Lies beware me. There's nowhere to hide when you run away scared of me. I am the light, so bright you can barely see. This is for all my beautiful people, so peaceful and equal, knowing in kindness is strength and in pride is weakness.
Did you just come up with that off the cuff, or what's going on?
The world will never know.
That's like Grammy worthy, man.
Was it? Was it really that good?
I really couldn't understand it because I can't understand rap, or whatever. What was that?
It's on video now. You can put it on slow mo. Can't you slow the YouTube down? It wasn't that fast.
Can I slow the YouTube? You called it the YouTube?
Yeah, and I use a jitterbug too. Don't make fun of me.
It was good. I just can't. I don't listen to too many rappers.
No, that wasn't just right off my brain. I wrote that a while ago actually, but.
Yes, it was good.
I like to write, to me it comes from truth and sincerity. And
Grammy worthy. So, all of the Grammys.
Thank you. I don't need any awards or anything, but I appreciate your kind words. For real,
They don't choose the right people nowadays, so.
I just feel like we should have a place where we can express ourselves freely. And I never really expressed myself like that before on the other channel or before, and that's something that's in me, so I want to share it with you guys.
Expression?
Yeah, everything is information, understanding, and expression. We give information a body of understanding in order to provide expression or life to the world, spirit.
Do you know where my gold play and silver play button went?
Well, I think that I accidentally threw those away the other day. If they were in like that box or whatever, I just chuck them.
Oh, well. They're vanity anyways.
If you left that silver play button and that gold play button sitting on a table for 1,000 years, when you came back to get it, what would it be? 1,000,000 years.
Garbage.
No, what would it be? It would be dust, right? It would be back like particles of dust. It would deteriorate.
There would just be nothing like it is now.
It would be dust. Yeah, and you know what? Just because it doesn't remain the same, that means that the state of it now, the YouTube play button, is not its true state. It's going to turn into dust in the future, and that's its true state. So it's actually nothing. It's probably just the idea that you give to it.
It's probably crumpled up in the landfill now from the garbage man, and it's smashed.
Hey,
if you threw it out.
Don't let that be the fruits of your labor. The fruits of your labor.
It's not the fruits of my labor.
The
trust me.
kindness and the community that you've created.
I realized that I strive for a gold play button. I wanted it so bad. Then when I got it, I'm like, that's dumb. I don't want that. That's not why I do YouTube. I do YouTube to teach people what I know about crochet. And
the play button helps you realize and understand that. So
that's not the purpose of YouTube. Is not gold medal plaque for your wall, nor a silver one. The purpose of it is for me to
express yourself in a true and sincere way.
Yes, express myself, and whether it be making hats or whatever. I'm making some a mosaic something right now. Overlay. I hope you guys watch it. And
I love how you work with your hands, babe. I'm not as good at working with my hands as she is. She can have an idea and have the ambition and the potential and the will to bring it into the world. And it's something that's tangible and usable and meaningful. I'm not like that. I start something and oftentimes I don't finish it. I'm more of like a...
Do you know what a creative adult is, right? It's
an adult with a child's soul.
It's a child who survived. You ready to go?
Ready to go? You mean like leave this wonderful place?
I'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Peace, love,
Take
and
care.
understanding. Thank you, guys.
Bye.